What if one wrong decision cost not just millions, but the careers of everyone involved? What happens when the biggest dreams in Hollywood turn into the biggest disasters? And could it all have been avoided? In 1995, Universal Pictures bet big on Waterworld, a post-apocalyptic ocean adventure with one of the highest budgets ever. But here's the thing, why build entire floating sets on open water? Why shoot a movie that's nearly impossible to control? It rained. It flooded. The set literally sank. The budget spiraled out of control. By the end, it cost $180 million. Was it ambition or arrogance? What if a mustache cost millions? Sounds silly, right? But that's exactly what happened in 2017. When Henry Cavill returned for reshoots on Justice League, he was under contract for another film that required him to keep his mustache. So instead of shaving it off, they tried to digitally remove it. It didn't work. And the result? One of the most infamous CGI fails in history, and a reshoot bill that reportedly cost $25 million. Could no one have planned this better? Imagine spending $100 million on a pilot episode, and then scrapping the whole thing. That's exactly what HBO did with its original Game of Thrones prequel. No one knows exactly why it was cancelled. Some say it lacked the magic. Others say it was studio panic. But how do you explain throwing away $100 million without blinking? What went so wrong that they refused to show even a second of it? They said it would be groundbreaking. They said it would be magical. But what we got was Cats. Why rush visual effects? Why release it unfinished? Critics called it a fever dream. The studio had to re-release the film with improved effects after it hit theaters. But by then the damage was done. Could no one tell this was a disaster in the making? Disney thought they had the next Star Wars. But instead they had John Carter. A $250 million epic that confused audiences and bombed spectacularly. The marketing was vague. The title meant nothing. And despite beautiful visuals, no one knew what the film was about. How can a movie this expensive vanish into obscurity? What if one film could kill an entire movie studio? Heaven's Gate 1980 did exactly that. With a budget that ballooned from $11 million to over $44 million, United Artists never recovered. It was perfectionism gone wild. But at what cost? A studio gone. Careers ended. And a film so long, theaters refused to show it. Should creativity have a budget cap? One tweet. That's all it took to destroy a top-rated sitcom reboot. In 2018, Roseanne was canceled overnight after its star posted a controversial tweet. ABC lost millions. A full season gone. Do networks have a responsibility to react swiftly? Or did they overcorrect to protect their image? And how does one tweet hold so much power? Disney Plus changed everything with The Mandalorian, using massive LED volumes instead of sets. But what happens when a single technical glitch halts production for weeks? One miscalibration. One bug in the system. And suddenly you've got an entire crew waiting, burning through millions. Can cutting-edge tech also be a gamble? Not all mistakes are giant films. Sometimes it's just one TV episode that costs a fortune and confuses everyone. In the 2000s, one sci-fi drama shot an experimental episode with $6 million in effects, abstract plot lines, and almost no dialogue. It was ambitious, but also unwatchable. So what's the balance between art and audience? From forgotten flops to digital disasters, these mistakes didn't just cost money, they cost trust, careers, studios, legacies. But in a world where stories shape culture, is it worth the risk? What if the next big hit is one mistake away from ruin? And how do you know when you're making history or making a $100 million disaster? Every frame costs something. What will yours be worth?